All right, guys. Welcome back to Fiction Mashup channel and everything. So today's video is going to be pretty simple. It's just going to be going over misconceptions, stuff about like Saitama, and we're also going to talk about like the fan made community and like mainly like the Dragon Ball fan made community, maybe other stuff too. Who knows? But so let's start with. Oh, before we get into that, one thing I want to mention to you guys is that whenever you see our battle shorts and stuff, I know there's people who agree or disagree. That's fine. That's going to happen. I know there's been people in there like correcting people who disagree. Whatever, whatever, you guys do whatever you want. Just try not to be too toxic because I will delete comments. But my point is, if you disagree with the battle short that me or, well, it's really Xavier making them. Say hi, by the way.
Yo, I'm here.
So, yeah. But my point is, yeah, like if you disagree or you're for some reason so pissed off about it, you can either just ask us in the comments why we think this, or you can join our Discord. You don't have to be toxic and be like, oh, I don't agree with this. Oh, this video sucks and it's horrible and this instead of doing that, just be mature and either ask or go in the Discord and we can educate you. There's barely any people in that Discord, so it's not crazy. And I'm not those dudes who like, I go into VC and I just gang up. I'm sorry, that shit is corny, is lame. I don't do that stuff. We don't even have to go into VC. We could do like a private group chat, like our private DM. It could be anything. As long as you want to be educated on certain things, I will do that. So, moving on to the first topic is Saitama. So, I want to address some things about Saitama, like people or like the fanboys who like think he's like the strongest in fiction for some unknown reason. So, number one, he can't one punch anybody. It's obvious. He's punched Boros a bunch of times, couldn't one punch him until he had to do a serious punch. Same thing with Cosmic Garu. Another thing about Saitama that's false is the whole like he's limitless, right? Or he could adapt to anybody. So if that's the case, right? I'm gonna give an example. So if I have a character and he can quote unquote adapt to any character, no matter how strong the character is, right? Would he need a power boost if that's the case? If I make a character that can just adapt to any character no matter how strong they are, would they need a power boost? Yes or no? Obviously, no. You don't need a power boost because, well, you could just adapt. But yet, Saitama, when he was fighting Cosmic Garu killed Genos, or at least destroyed his body. Saitama thought, oh, wow, the only thing that made me feel human is gone. And they even say in the manga, he got like an emotional power boost. He got literally like a freaking Zenkai. And he was able to go toe-to-toe with Cosmic Garu. And mind you, Cosmic Garu was still able to like copy the same power that from the punch that Saitama did, right? This was an angry, and I don't care what anybody says he was going all out. It was very obvious he was. Because again, here's to prove why he went all out. If he was holding back, right, so much power, he would have never needed the power boost. He would have just simply used more power. But they say specifically in the manga that he got a power boost and he used it on Cosmic Garu and eventually won. It's that simple. Also, the whole stuff about like, oh, he kicked hyperspaces. He never did that. The original translation literally says subspaces. He never kicked the hyperspace. That never happened. People made that up just to make the feat seem stronger. It was called the subspace. It was literally portals that Garu was going through. I don't know how you get a portal in a hyperspace and try to make them the same thing. It's weird. Oh yeah, the whole like time traveling thing. Like, okay, it's like I don't even know why people wank that off. There's a lot of people went over that already, so I don't even have to go over that. Oh yeah, the feat of them going into space because what's his name, Blast teleported them. They never destroyed galaxies. They only destroyed a few stars. If they did destroy galaxies, then Earth wouldn't have been there. Earth would have been gone. Because that would include the Milky Way galaxy, which is the one we live in. So that would have been gone, but it wasn't. It literally just destroyed a few stars.
Yeah, and even the panel even shows that pretty much in the show's space, it shows like a hole where all the stars were. Yeah. There wasn't galaxies or universes. It was just stars that destroyed.
Exactly. It's just that simple. No, nothing further than that. I don't know how people wank that feat. It's really weird, but it is what it is. A lot of people always love to bring up like now again, I said this before. I'm not really the biggest fan of Dragon Ball Super. If people like it, that's perfectly fine. I don't really care. It's cool. But I will say, like, people always bring up, like, when Goku got hit by a laser, right? Now, I will admit, like, I can't lie. That was embarrassing. I think that was a really embarrassing moment for Goku. I personally think they should have never done that. It was dumb. It was stupid. But, you know, it's the typical his guard was off, and when the Saiyan guard was off, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Here's the thing, though. People will always bring that up. Now, first of all, bringing that up is irrelevant because if Goku's fighting someone, that's just not going to happen. Like, what is Saitama going to do anyway? Like, once Goku just one punches him, and that's it. He's not going to be able to. Oh, look, Goku's off guard. Like, it's not going to happen because Saitama would already be knocked out. But the point is, people will bring that up, but they won't bring up the fact that Saitama got scratched by a literal house cat, like a normal cat. He was cut by it. They won't mention the fact that Silver Fang was able to twist his arm in like one of the episodes, even in the manga too. They won't mention about how he kept speed blitzing him, and when they were playing that game with the hammer, like Saitama literally couldn't get it. So like that's my point. He's still limited. It's obvious. He's only human. Doesn't matter. What was another thing I was gonna mention? Oh yeah. Also, here's to prove why Z Goku alone would absolutely destroy Saitama. We don't even need Dragon Ball Super Goku. That's way too much. Nor do we need GT Goku. That's just too overpowered. So, I'll give an example. So, so I'm gonna show it on screen here. I'll even link the video. So, when it comes to, and yes, I'm using Namek Saga Goku. Now, before people go crazy, here's why. So first of all, galaxies in Dragon Ball were stated to be like infinite in size, multiple times. I'll even show it here on screen. And we know that, you know, like Z Broly did it. But here's the thing. Here's one thing that a lot of people do not know of, and it's kind of sad, but it is what it is, I guess. But in the Namek Saga, when Frieza was, you know, he wanted to destroy Namek and he quote unquote failed, right? Some of the dubs don't show this, but the original dub does. I think like a few of them do. When Namek explodes, you literally see the entire galaxy explode as well. Like it's just gone. Again, I will link the video. I'll show it here on screen. So yeah, Frieza, by trying to destroy Namek, it also took the entire galaxy with it, right? And as we know, galaxies are infinite in Dragon Ball. So that alone, right? And mind you, this was a Frieza that wasn't even at full power yet, right? This was like 50% or 70% like Frieza. And he was specifically trying to destroy a planet and it ended up destroying the entire infinite galaxy. That alone surpasses anything Saitama has ever done. And then we have Goku, like Super Saiyan, just casually still so much stronger than full power Frieza. So yes, literally Namek Saga Frieza would one tap Saitama. It's that bad, yeah.
Do you have any, I just want to. So it's funny that Saitama fans always want to go off of statements, but if you use a statement for Dragon Ball, they ignore it. Prime example: Demon King Piccolo in Dragon Ball was stated multiple times to have infinite power. But if I use that for for saying, oh, I think Kid Goku can beat Saitama, they tell me I'm stupid. They tell me you can't use that. But if you guys can use statements, why can't I use statements?
No, that's what I'm saying. And I was just gonna bring that up. Like, you guys always want to talk about like, oh, look. Here's the thing: people don't even realize this. Most of the stuff that they wank off for Saitama is just statements. Literally just statements. That's it. Because he has 0 universal feats, he has 0 galaxy feats. So they just go over statements, right? And, you know, they'll use it, right? Blah, blah, blah. But the moment we do the same thing for Dragon Ball, all of a sudden we can't do it. It's genuinely weird. Like he said, like King Piccolo, and yes, I will show this on screen, was stated to have infinite strength on multiple occasions. Literally. So if you guys can use statements for Saitama, we could do the same exact thing for King Piccolo or any character in Dragon Ball. Really that simple. If you disagree, then you're just a hypocrite. That's simple.
Yeah, that's what it boils down to end of the day. It's like, if you can do it, I can do it too. And you're telling me I can't do it, you're just a hypocrite. End of story.
Yeah, and then I remember someone was like in the comment section telling me like, well, if King Piccolo has infinite strength, why didn't he destroy a planet? It's like, yeah, I could say the same thing for, I don't know, Saitama? Like, he also never destroyed a planet. He also never destroyed even a galaxy. So it's like, I don't know what these people are talking about. Like, And that's another thing too. Like you always hear those people saying like, "We've never seen Goku destroy the universe." Yeah, why would he though? Why would first of all, why would he want to do that? Second of all, he almost did already anyway. I mean, he has universal feats in Z, but even if you don't want to use Z universal like statements or feats, I'm gonna just quickly go over the Battle of Gods feat, right? So when Goku and Beerus were clashing fists, right? A lot of people, and I mean like a lot of people, but I'm glad a lot of people at the same time are also like learning more about this feat. They keep thinking that it was a combined effort, and Goku and Beerus, you don't see galaxies getting affected, you don't see this getting affected, so therefore, you know, nothing was happening. Now, mind you, I could literally say the same thing for like comic books. Like, there's been multiple times where they were supposedly about to destroy the universe, but nothing got destroyed, right? But here's the thing: people tend to forget that when Beerus was going to throw his last punch, everyone was literally saying that that last punch was going to destroy all of Universe 7, right? And then Goku, while not even having any control of his ki and he was holding back, he nullified the power that was going to destroy all of Universe 7. He literally nullified it. He even said like damn, you know, like I did that, like what was it? Yeah, I'll show it up here on screen. So, and he just got the form, by the way. So this is what I'm talking about. Like, you'll never see Saitama do anything like that or even come close to that. It's that simple. I honestly, I think that's it for Saitama. I don't know what else to say about him.
One last thing. It's funny how they say, "Oh, we've never seen Goku destroy universes." Like, would you really want to see that over and over again each time Goku fights? That would be boring and redundant to see the same thing over and over again. Dragon Ball wouldn't be as entertaining as what it was. That's more time they have to put. That's more time Toriyama and others have to actually animate that or even draw it in the manga. Like, just because you don't see it doesn't mean they can't do it.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like people always say that, like, oh, well, if Goku's really multiversal or outer or hyper or whatever you want to say, right? Why aren't they like constantly showing universes? Because it wouldn't be a show. It's like comic books do the same thing. Like we see Superman and Doomsday fighting on Earth. We see like all these characters fighting on Earth. The planet is completely fine. And again, they do this because if Goku and Vegeta or Goku and Frieza or Superman and Doomsday and all these other characters, if they were just destroying everything all the time, it would never be entertaining. It would just be the same thing. For example, like Goku versus Majin Vegeta, right? You know, I mean, we saw King Vegeta destroy planets casually, right? And we all know Goku and Vegeta and the Buu Saga are like way beyond that. And you're probably thinking, why weren't they destroying the planet? Because again, it wouldn't have been entertaining at all. What you want them to just constantly destroy universes? Yeah, that's so entertaining, dude. Like, it's literally just that. Again, and before people say, but other characters, yeah, other characters from other franchises and stuff, they do the same thing. I just mentioned Superman, you know, Shazam, like any character you think of. So yeah, it's really that simple.
So moving on to the topic of the fan-made community, more specifically the Dragon Ball fan-made community. So when it comes to the fan-made community for Dragon Ball, for me personally, I'd say 40% is good, 60% of it is bad. That's just me personally. You may think it's 50-50, Matthew. You may think it's 50-50, but in all honesty, for me, it's 60-40 because like Epsilon, like it's funny because growing up, I used to love Epsilon, but as soon as I got older, I started to not like it because the story ended up being just all over the place.
Oh yeah, like that's the thing. Like now, mind you, no hate towards these creators, of course, zero hate. You know, obviously, I don't want any of you guys going after these guys. I mean, I know you wouldn't anyway. No hate towards these guys. We're just doing typical criticism, but yeah, when it comes to like the Dragon Ball fan-made stuff, like Absalom is a perfect example of, in my opinion, like the bad fan-made stuff. I know a lot of people love that series. You know, I watched it when it came out. You know, that was like, I think that was probably the first or one of the first like fan-made animated, fan-made animated shows or whatever you want to call it. And
yeah, I believe so.
It was, I don't know. I think it's okay, but there's just, there's a lot of forms that need more explaining. They're not that good. The animation could be better, but I'm not gonna judge the animation. No, I'm not an animator. I mean, I'm not saying I can't do that. Oh, hold on. Oh, yeah. What was I saying? So yeah, like about Epsilon and stuff. It's, the story for me. I don't even feel like there's a story. There is a story, but like when you watch like SpongeBob or other shows. and each episode is random, like there's no story. That's what Absalon felt like for me. It was just all over the place, and the ideas and concepts are like awesome, but I think they're just not executed that well. But again, keep up the great work. I think his name is. I don't even want to say his name because I feel like I'm going to say it wrong. But keep doing you. I respect it, the grind and all that. I think what was it called? Dragon Ball. What was that? What was it? We mentioned before, I think.
Absalon?
No. The other one. Deliverance. Yeah, Dragon Ball Deliverance is pretty. I think it's pretty good. It's okay. I think Dragon Ball Deliverance needs some work, but overall, I think it's pretty good. The animation's amazing, phenomenal.
It's when I look at Absalom, Deliverance, is I actually enjoyed it a lot. It's just there's one thing I would actually change about the story that would actually make it better, but that's not like, but that's just me personally as just a Dragon Ball fan. But overall, I can still go back to watch it and still be entertained way more than Absalom. But that's just my opinion.
Well, yeah. I think I give like Deliverance like a 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10. I think it's pretty good. It's still beginning, so I'm still giving it a chance.
Right.
Dragon, what's up?
I was gonna say Multiverse.
Multiverse is okay. I'm gonna quickly go over that, and you can too. Multiverse was okay, and then when it came back with like the whole black and white stuff, and the manga art got better, the Majin Brawl stuff, I think it just went downhill from that. Pretty simple.
Well, because the guy took a multi-year break, and he randomly came back to just try to finish it. At that point, you might as well just start over. Because if you're a creator and you have something you've been doing for a while, and then you stop, and then you try to go back to it, you're not going to remember what you did.
Well, I mean, it's not that he won't remember. I mean, whether he remembers or not is fine. It's more like, yeah, like for that specific case, starting it over would have been perfect in my opinion, because then he could correct certain things he wouldn't want to be in the story. But maybe he thought it was fine, and that's cool. I don't have a problem with that. I think overall, like the entire series, I think it's okay. I just think certain ideas were just not that good, and the whole Majin Brawl thing was just, I don't know. I think it was just so corny. Like, oh yeah, she's just killing everybody and that's it. It's like, I don't know. I did not enjoy that. But again, keep it up though. Keep up the work.
Yeah, I think he restarted it again, and I don't know if he's doing anything with it now. I don't know.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think he's still doing it. I'm not really sure, but now in terms of like bad, like we were talking about pretty decent or good fan fictions, but in terms of like bad stuff, there's no hate to like. Yeah, I'm back. Just had to do something. So, like I was saying, when it comes to bad fan fiction, though, I think it's and this is no hate towards the guy. I'll put his name up here. I just don't remember his name. I think it's Call Me Arg or Call Me Arge, something like that. He's the one that made the Ultra Vegito fan fiction. Again, I don't want anyone going after this guy. In my opinion, I think it's one of the worst fan fictions. In my opinion, that's just me. I know Amash, which is also a cool YouTuber. I'll probably show him his channel here. He went over that channel, and my God, it was like chaos. I agree with Amash's takes on Call Me Arg. I think it's just, and the thing is, I can tell he's doing it more for money, because the guy, I believe, is actually like richest. I think he was on the news at one point. He's actually just like already rich, and then like him making this is just making him richer. So I can see why he's doing it, just to get more money. And that's how, not all, but that's how some Dragon Ball fans are. Like, the typical like, oh yeah, anything Dragon Ball related, I'm gonna watch it. Like, oh, Vegeto's getting 8 billion more forms. Hey, take my money. It's like, that's how it is. Unfortunately, it is what it is. But I don't think there's anything special about that series. It's your typical just Vegeta was betrayed, and now he's getting infinite forms, and then he's fighting infinite enemies, and then what's next? He's gonna fight Jesus. Like, it's just stuff like that.
It's basically how people used to make memes about Dragon Ball getting some new forms. Basically, take that meme, but actually make it a story. That's pretty much that story.
No, that's exactly what it is. It's like the whole, like, some people will literally make fun of Dragon Ball for the typical, like, oh yeah, Goku's just going to get like a billion more forms. He's going to fight a billion more enemies. That's what the Ultra Vegito story is. It's just Vegito. He's evil or he's good. I don't know what he is. Pretty sure he's like evil or something. Yeah, and he's just getting a bunch of forms, like, and some of the forms just wacky and weird as hell. But like stuff like that. I do hope the fan fiction stuff gets better. I know there's a lot of other stories out there, but we're not really trying to go over everyone. But you guys get the point on that. In terms of fan fiction in general, though, like as a whole, I love the idea of fan fiction. But of course, though, I'm not those people where it's like, like you kind of tell someone your fan fiction. That's it. Like, no, I like when people like make a story out of it. They put it online, or make like, or even if you don't put it online, but you tell someone and it's like really good. Like, I love stuff like that. Like, even I've made my own fan made stuff, but I don't know. I might show that one day. Who knows? But
I'm not.
It's Dragon Ball stuff, yeah, right. But I think if it's structured really well, it's consistent. The forms are right. This is Dragon Ball fan fiction I'm talking about. The forms are correct. The characters are awesome. The story, plot, all that stuff. That's when I really enjoy it. I mean, that makes sense. What are you gonna say?
That's how I feel about Dragon Ball Kakame, because I'd say out of all the fan fictions I've read, which is not a lot, Dragon Ball Kakame is like the best fan fiction I've ever read in my life, and ever.
Yeah, I'd say Kakame, Dragon Ball Kakame. I'll show it here on screen. Shout out to the dude, by the way. But yeah, I'd say it's probably the best Dragon Ball fan fiction, or one of the best I've read. It's pretty consistent. The art is, oh my god, the art is beautiful, amazing art. One of the best. Like, it's like on the it's on the level. In my opinion, I think it surpasses the One Punch Man. I know that's very controversial, but I think it just surpasses like the One Punch Man manga animation. I mean, not animation, but the art style for the manga. I'm not like trying to like make a contest. I'm not trying to be a fanboy. I'm genuine. I'm being genuine. I genuinely enjoy that art so much more. I still think the One Punch Man art style in the manga is amazing, though. It has to be like one of the best. I'm sorry. But yeah, there was another point I was gonna mention. Probably forgot though. Did you have anything to say, by the way?
Nope. I think you pretty much covered all the bases I want to say about Kakame.
No, yeah, but like, oh yeah, can I go over something actually, or were you gonna say something?
Yeah, actually, no. You can go over what you need to go.
So one thing I want to mention too is, and my friend Xavier doesn't really like this stuff, and I completely I understand it. I don't really like it either. I'm more like I'm kind of like the concepts and ideas of it, but they're not executed well. And I'm talking about Dragon Ball AF basically, which is like I'm pretty sure it's like the very first. Yeah, it has to be. It's definitely the very first Dragon Ball fan fiction. That goes back to like the 90s. Like, yeah, that's how long it's existed. And I'm gonna be real. Like, I'm not gonna go over the story. I'm not gonna go over any of that. What I'm gonna go over is like the controversial takes and how strong AF Goku is, or how the different versions. I'm gonna be real, bro. People need to chill. What I mean by that is, so for example, there's like the normal Goku AF from like, I don't know, the Zycore stuff, like, and then like I think people call him like AF Stories Goku. I don't know. And then there's like PVG AF Goku, and then there's Toyotaro's version. There's a lot, right? But and it's obviously in the Hispanic community more, like the Latin American stuff, all that, so a lot of it is in Spanish, the stories and stuff. But my God, the miscommunication between like AF fans and like American Dragon Ball fans is insane, because a lot of people just think like AF Goku's like the strongest Goku to ever exist. I mean, again, that's very debatable. I know some people are going to disagree. I think he's one of the strongest. I just don't really agree with him. I personally think Xeno Goku's the strongest Goku. That's just me.
I agree with that. I agree with that statement.
I don't really like to talk about Jump Force Goku. I personally do not care about Jump Force Goku. I never will. And I've heard people say Xeno Goku is stronger anyway. 4D Goku, I also don't give a flying crap. I don't care about that stuff. If they're stronger, cool. I don't care. But I personally think Xeno Goku scales the highest. And dude has like every hacks ever. But I'm getting off track. But that's really my take on like fan fiction and Dragon Ball. I think like I actually agree with Xavier. It's 40 to 60. Like 60% of it is just bad, and the rest 40% is good. Probably, I don't know. It depends.
But I think, is there any other topics you want to talk about for this video before we wrap up?
No, I don't think so. Today was just kind of a short video because it's just we're doing more requests basically. Like if you guys want a part 2 to this video, that's fine. If you guys want to request anything, obviously the topics we review, please post that in the comments. Like if you want another what if battle, we still have a lot of ideas. Like we still have more what if battles upcoming. We still have more rants, like reactions, all sorts of stuff. So please let us know about that. But yeah, that's pretty much it, to be honest.
All right. Thank you guys for listening to us talk about this. So we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Yeah, peace.